Hello, my name is Raul Torres, and I recently turned 40. So, you'd think that I would have some fantastic words of wisdom to share with you on my fourth decade traveling around the sun. And I don't, but I'm gonna try anyways. So, um, let's focus on YouTube, TikTok video creation first. And I think that'll be a good way to kind of segue into what I'm working on personally right now, and really just, I think, just overall mindset and philosophy that really has kind of kept me going through lots of things. Um, so, one of the challenges that I see with this whole content creation game is you've got opposite ends of spectrums. You've got folks saying, niche down, focus on one thing, stay in your lane. And then you've got the complete opposite of we're going to do whatever we want, whatever we want, and we don't care if we get traction because why not? So the ideas or kind of goals in mind that I have are try to find some, not necessarily equilibrium, but find that spot within those two opposites and figure out what works best for you. Sometimes smack dab in the middle is going to work. Sometimes you're going to lean a little bit one way than another. But I think it really comes down to looking at a situation, trying to figure out where the opposite ends are and where you want to kind of zoom in on so you're not kind of swinging back and forth all the time. Um, yeah, just trying to figure out where your equilibrium spot is. Now, bigger picture outside of the content stuff, I know that I typically engage in black and white thinking a lot. It is my first gut response to a lot of things, but I also know that I have black and white thinking, so that maybe is a good thing to mention. It's just like, hey, like knowing how you think and how you perceive the world and what you get right and what you get wrong is good to know. You may not improve that accuracy rating, get things right more often, but you can recognize that, hey, maybe you're going to be wrong, and you can, again, try to figure out where that equilibrium is and where to figure stuff out. So, taking that out, bigger picture, as a 40-year-old elder millennial, things are pretty chaotic right now. Um, Depending on what information silo you're in, things are crazy catastrophic. Things are getting more expensive. I don't think millennials have had any type of easy mode. And um, this is in no way, shape, or critique of any of the generations that come after us, because I will say that Gen Z and Gen Alpha, or whatever you want to call them, definitely have more challenges than we do. But I will say, I think I'll lump in Gen X with us. I think they've definitely had it difficult. They had a lot of, for lack of a better term, luxuries that millennials didn't have. Um, I will say the whole fact that they could walk home from school without having child protective services called on them definitely shaped their character and a lot of their positive aspects. Um, but anyways, we're gonna keep zigzagging. Yeah, millennials have had it kind of rough, and I think it is very easy to look at it from, oh no, the world is a horrible, bad place, everything is going wrong, and there's always a possibility of everything coming out perfectly and working fine. I know a lot of people are kind of like more on the doom scrolling side, everything's gonna not work out. And I think trying to stay sane, trying to keep moving forward in not just a survival mode, but in a growing and getting better for yourself, for your loved ones, for your community, is trying to figure out where that equilibrium is of being able to have that situational awareness that things may not be ideal, but also not getting all consumed by that and having the optimism and hope that there are better options, there are better ways to do things. There is a possibility to get there. There are no guarantees that we'll get there, but you still got to try to make it happen. And yeah, I think that's my words and wisdom of rant at, being the age of 40. You may have black and white thinking like I do. Figure it out, process the information, try to find that equilibrium, because there is, I don't want to put this, it's all narrative at the end of the day, and you can make whatever story and perspective you want of the situation, and that is a curse and a superpower. Again, you've got opposite end of the spectrums. If you can put any story on your life, you can be the hero, you can be the NPC, you can figure it out and have a happy ending, you could go enter the Black Mirror worst timeline if you want. Whatever perspective you want to have on the world, you can have it. So figure out where you want to fall into that, and maybe you're happy being miserable. I don't want to be like sounding too judgmental, because some people do kind of go to that place. But I don't want to knock it too much, because I do also understand from the perspective that sometimes being knocked down, having those rough patches, is what you need to get that kick in the butt to get your act together. Sometimes it works for people. Sometimes they cry more and just be, oh, woe is me, I'm a martyr, so sad. But some people come out better for it. And not saying that that's supposed to happen all the time, but hey, sometimes you got to embrace that and then figure out what to do from there. So, yeah, I'm going to try to be on TikTok and YouTube more. So we'll see how that goes. See you later. Bye.